The story begins with our hero Yamada waking up in heaven with three cute and curvy slave girls getting comfortable in the morning. After an intense session, Ikeda is reminded that he has to go to work in the morning as well. That's when he realizes that he's been entertaining his intrusive thoughts a bit too much, and he actually has to earn his living. Now, we see him in a potion store as he welcomes his customers with his slave girls standing right behind him. It turns out that his potions are quite famous, as the customers ask him for a wide variety of potions, right from thawing potion F to recovery potions D and E. One of the slave girls, named Kania, is told to get some of the spare potion from the back. But then a beast girl says that she will get it done since she is already close to the room. Our hero is glad to see his slave girls enjoying their work, and then he takes a look at all the recovery potions he has in front of him. Ikeda shows us that there are lots of combinations to work with, as you can also use detoxification potions. After taking a look at all the potions he has made today, Ikeda is happy with the final products and is sure that he will make a good sale today. Then, he introduces himself to us and states that he is in the fantasy world of Borginia. Of course, there's a lot more to this story than just running a small shop, so Ikeda reveals that he has been hiding a secret from everyone in this world. Not too long ago, he was a regular store clerk at a shop back in his original world of Japan. However, one fine day as he got done with his shift and returned home, he saw someone standing right in front of him. It was a goddess who was cuter and curvier than any girl he had ever seen his entire life. This goddess's name is Uranius, and her looks were more than enough to freeze our hero. Suddenly, he found himself inside an unknown space, which was completely blank and white. He panicked for a bit and wanted to know where he had been brought to. Uranius calmed him down by saying he was selected to be reincarnated in another world, and this was something which was quite popular at the time. She then asked Ikeda if he would like to go to another world, but her saw only two things in our hero's mind back then. Uranius realized that Ikeda was filled with intrusive thoughts at the time, so she took his blank staring as a yes and proceeded with the reincarnation. She also said that she would give him some skills as a parting gift, and he could use that to survive in his new world. Ikeda had no idea what the goddess meant at the time, but then he felt an odd sensation and suddenly found himself inside another world. Of course, this was a completely new environment for him, but since he was quick to adapt, our hero did not face too many hassles while adjusting to his new world. His nerd skills helped him to identify precious metals, and then he focused on the skills that the goddess had blessed him with. These skills included potion making, appraisal, storage, cleansing, and language comprehension. This was a bit too much for him to handle at the beginning, but luckily for him, the townsfolk helped Ikeda out and even gave him a room at an inn. After some complex calculations to help him understand the yen and coin conversion rate, Ikeda realized that since he had 16,000 yen in his pocket, he had a decent collection of gold, silver, and copper coins. One night at an inn was roughly 1 silver coin, which translated to 1,000 yen, which meant that he could live comfortably for a few days. The important thing was to check out his status, so he opened his stat bar instantly to assess his skills. Sadly, he did not have much to brag about as a combat hero. The goddess did not bless him with any magic or fighting skills, so Ikeda was essentially a weak boy. He could not become an adventurer, but he could definitely make something work out of this whole situation. Ikeda figured that he could use his potion skills to make and sell potions in this world, but he had no idea what the pricing was for these potions. In order to understand this side better, our hero decided to ask questions around town and try to use whatever he could get. At first, he tried to buy bottles and potion F samples to get an idea, and he was also told that the prices of these potions were ranked. If you can make a potion that is from rank B to rank A, then you have a good chance of bringing in the nobles and the royal family to hire you. Ikeda did not want to start off with potion B, because that could put him in a tight spot if anyone were to ask him for bulk production. The best way forward was to make potion F, and that's exactly what he did. Ikeda did not know how to make a potion, so he simply used his potion-making skills to create a bottle of Potion F. It worked out nicely, so our hero continued to make potions day and night, till he finally had a good collection to boast of. This did take a lot of effort and energy, but the main thing now is to sell these potions. Ikeda is not exactly a businessman, so he needs to get more acquainted with the ways of selling in this world. In order to do that, he decides to visit a marketplace, and he is shocked to see the kinds of people walking around over here. This is the Guild of Commerce, but he can't find much of use just yet. Of course, the scenery is beautiful and the girls are curvy, but it's important not to get lost in intrusive thoughts right now. Ikeda is called to the reception and greeted by an extremely curvy babe who has soft pillows the size of his head. As expected, Ikeda can't really take his eyes off the goods. After he comes back to his senses, our hero tells the reception girl that he would like to open a stall. She asks him for how long he would like to do it, so he figures he can do a trial run for a day. The charges for the same are only 1 silver coin, so it gets Ikeda thinking about how seriously he can take this hustle. The girl with the soft pillows says that our hero can choose the area he would like to lease as well, and he can also get an area that gets a lot of pedestrian traffic. Ikeda likes what he hears, but he does not want to be so far away from the heart of the city. This is fine for the reception girl, and she decides to grant the permit for a day. Once again, Ikeda can only focus on her soft so he does not pay attention to anything she says. Eventually, the pillow girl says that our hero is all set to start his own stall, and he says that he will do his best for her and her soft pillows. This meeting with the pillow girl actually makes Ikeda realize that this world is filled with tons of cute and curvy babes. Our hero believes that he might have come here for money, but he has a whole new world of possibilities due to the pretty girls that seem to be available in abundance. This has given him the motivation to do even better with his stall. With that, we see Ikeda sitting at his stall with a set of potions. There are not a lot of people in this area, but that is fine for Ikeda because he knows his potions will definitely sell. Of course, he'll have to be patient, but he eventually starts to doubt himself when nobody shows up to buy anything from him. At one point, Ikeda considers packing up and leaving, but he decides to keep at it for a bit longer. More time passes by, and he starts starving as he has not eaten anything just yet. But then Ikeda finally sees some hope when a couple of men come up to him, asking if his potions are for sale. Our hero is a bit nervous, but ends up answering the query because he does not want to mess this up. The men are shown to be adventurers, and they ask Ikeda if he has the recovery potions C and D. They are in luck because our hero does happen to have 2 C potions and 6 D potions. The men ask him to sell all of them, and this comes as a bit of a surprise to him. Anyway, Ikeda sells the potions and celebrates the fact that he has made some money today. That's when he learns that the adventurers are very impressed by what they see in his potions, as they do not seem to contain any impurities at all. They even discuss that these potions could sell for a lot more, and this makes Ikeda a bit interested. The men talk about how they don't like to drink potions very often, since it is important to stay focused when you're going out on adventures. Most of the potions have lots of impurities in them, and this makes them taste bitter. Due to this taste, the adventurers are not able to stay focused, which is why they prefer to have nice and tasty potions. The adventurers seem to be interested in the other potions Ikeda is selling, so he reveals he has recovery potions D and E as well. Eventually, our hero ends up selling out all of his potions, and his total earnings are 3 gold coins and a silver coin. Ikeda can live comfortably off his earnings for a few days, and then he recalls what one of the adventurers was saying. His name is revealed to be Hawkeye, and he stated that he was a part of a famous team. Due to this, it is possible that a lot more people will end up coming to buy potions from Ikeda in the future. This is why he decides to make a lot more potions for the potential customers that will come his way tomorrow. Everything works out as per our hero's plan, and he gets sold out the next day again. As a matter of fact, Ikeda has made 9 gold coins today, so he decides to add up his total sales. It roughly translates to over 200,000 yen, which should be more than enough to cover the entire month. Ikeda states that he can also spare some cash to get a bit of entertainment for himself. The only thing now is to figure out what to do for his entertainment in this new world. The first thing is to take a shower after a hard day's work, so Ikeda uses his cleaning skill for a quick session. Now that he's ready for action, he thinks about going to an S-rank shady place. However, Ikeda decides against it, and instead goes to a C-rank place named Red Rose. The reception man greets Ikeda and asks him if this is his first time at such a place. He says yes, so the man reveals that the rate is 1 silver coin for 15 minutes. In a shocking revelation, Ikeda decides to pay for a whopping 2.5 hours. The reception man is pleased to hear this, so he offers a list of women for our hero to choose from. These girls are cute and curvy, so it's a bit surprising to see this kind of quality in a C-rank outlet. Ikeda explains to us that the reason he has come to this place is because of massive. The thing about this world is that they look at some as extra fat, which is why C-rank girls have the best bodies. Thin girls are seen as a rank and S-rank beauties. So it all works out for Ikeda, since he has come from a world that has good taste in women. Now, our hero sets his eyes on an absolute babe, whose soft pillows would be extremely hard to beat in any world. The girl's name is Listina, and Ikeda says that he would like to spend his time with her. The reception man says that he will make sure to send Listina over to Ikeda's room. And it turns out that our hero had actually set his eyes on her right from the very beginning. He was actually on the entertainment district when he found Listina as she was standing on the other side of the display window. He could not take his eyes off her because there is no woman who could match up to her good looks. Back to the present. Ikeda is ready to finally spend the night with Listina. He is very nervous to go ahead with this, but then he reminds himself that he is not the same man he used to be in his previous life. Our hero makes a potion and drinks it to help himself, after which we see his stat bar, which has some really impressive numbers. Suddenly, our hero hears someone asking to enter the room, and he turns around to see the gorgeous Listina in front of him. She thanks him for his request and says that she looks forward to spending her time with him today. Things are about to get really hot and heavy for our hero, but he needs to be up to the task. Listina calls out to Ikeda by his name, and her curvy body is looking more and more attractive to our hero with each passing second. After all, she has beautiful, silky silver hair and burning red eyes. Listina is a little sweet and lush as well. But the most important thing is that Ikeda can see 20 rounds in 45 minutes. This is a miracle, even blessed with an immortality skill and massive size. Our hero also wonders if this is because of Listina, as she has an amazingly curvy body that's smooth as also came in handy, and she seems to have a lot of sweet spots. Listina seems to have fallen asleep after such a strong session, so our hero wakes her up. She realizes that she is not being professional, so she says sorry for passing out. Ikeda tells her it's fine because he has been satisfied by their session. He proceeds to offer Listina a drink and wants to know if she would be interested in having it as part of an experiment. She does drink it and senses a lot of new energy entering her body, much to her amazement. Ikeda explains that the drink is actually a new potion that he has made, and he wanted to rejuvenate Listina since he still has an hour left. Our hero wants to talk to her for a bit, and she does as he says. Listina reveals that most of her clients don't even engage in their intrusive thoughts with her, and the ones that do usually don't last more than 1 or 2 sessions. She has never met anyone who has the kind of skills that our hero does, so it's a proud moment for him. Apparently in this new world, shady acts are a simple in and out thing. Ikeda comments that this is a huge waste because it means that beauties such as Listina can't be enjoyed the way she should. This explains why the basic rule is a simple and short session. And it also explains why everyone was so shocked when Ikeda asked for more than 2 hours with Listina. Apart from that, Listina was also fulfilled when she saw our hero embracing her. She is extremely happy that Ikeda was able to do well, because no one else has been able to do that. This makes our hero shy, and he tries to play nice, even though he has just done the most unspeakable things imaginable to Listina over the past hour. Now that everything is done with, Ikeda decides to leave and Listina wishes him farewell. She is always open to service him again, and he instantly says that he will be back here tomorrow. As he goes back home, Ikeda also thinks back to all the things Listina told him about herself. It turns out that she also has a child, which came as a huge shock to our hero. She has one boy at the moment, and she is staying with her estranged husband, whom she had left 3 years ago. It makes sense to our hero that someone as beautiful as Listina was married at one point, but he wonders why her husband would let her go. And then, he got the biggest shocker of his entire life. Listina's husband left her because for him. Basically, when they had gotten married, Listina was a slim and flat girl, but after having her child, her started to grow to extraordinary proportions. Her husband did not like this, as the people of this world have terrible taste in women, and then once their son grew past the age of infancy, they separated. Back to the present, Ikeda is still trying to figure out why any sane man would let go of clothes. It can never make any sense to a man of culture such as himself. And then he enters a cafe only to be greeted by a cute girl. She welcomes him inside and confirms if he is alone right now, after which she seats him at a solo table. Ikeda scans the area, and he sees cute but flat girls all over the place, which is what makes it stand out. All the customers seem to like the fact that these flat girls are coming to talk to them. So the flawed logic of this world is surely a real thing. Ikeda is conflicted, but he has to accept the reality of this world, and it is actually good news for him. Basically, he will not have any rivals over here whenever he goes for curvy babes, and this will make his life a lot easier. He does not mind handing over all the flat, the cute and curvy ones. The waitress comes over to take his order, and then our hero digs into a nice and tasty meal. In the middle of his dining, he is greeted by the adventurer Hawkeye once again, who immediately recognizes him as the owner of the potion store. He wants to sit with Ikeda, and our hero senses something promising, so he allows Hawkeye to have a seat. The adventurer tells Ikeda that he has a favor he would like to ask of him, but it's a bit too ambitious. He has bought tons of potions from Ikeda in the past, but now he wants him to make something that is of an even higher grade. Ikeda wants to know exactly how high of a rank Hawkeye wants his potion to be, and then he learns that it's because the adventurer wants to go deep into the dungeon. This makes sense, because the monsters of the dungeon only grow stronger and stronger with each level. Hawkeye will definitely need a better potion if he is to recover from all the damage he will be taking there. Ikeda is in two minds about this right now, but Hawkeye is not going to leave till he gets a yes. On top of that, he would also like to see some strengthening potions and antidote potions. This is clearly a lot to ask from someone like Ikeda, who has only just come to this world. Our hero lets Hawkeye know that this is going to cost him a lot of money, but he counters that these potions will save his life, so any price will be a small price to pay for that. In the night, Ikeda gets to work and comments on how being an adventurer is a very lucrative position. As he prepares his potions, our hero tells us that he does find dungeons to be a bit fascinating. He likes the whole idea of fighting monsters and stuff, but since he does not like pain, he would much rather just sit here and make potions all day. He admits that he has avoided making high-rank potions as it may draw the wrong kind of attention towards him, and the one time he actually tried to make one, he had failed. For some reason, the word potion does not seem to work on the bottle, which means that Ikeda will need to try something else. After some serious efforts, Ikeda notices that he has made potion B, which is a lot stronger than potion C. He is a bit confused as to how he was able to do it now when he had failed just yesterday trying to do the exact same thing. Ikeda is genuinely curious as to how he was able to do this. It could be that he has leveled up, but it's not like he's fought any monsters till now. Something has to be different about him today that has enabled him to make a stronger potion. And that's when it hits Ikeda that the only change in his body today is that he has engaged in shady acts with Listina. Either way, he has still not made something as potent as Potion A, so he might try something different tomorrow. The next day, we see Ikeda touching some caterpillars of this new world, and they are a lot larger than the ones he had seen in Japan. He seems to be a bit too excited about his new life, as he also spends his time touching the walls of another world, and also seriously breathing the air of another world. His eyes also seem to fall upon another heavenly sight. And it's good to know that cute girls have the same dressing sense in this world as they do in Japan. Ikeda seems to have a thing for the girl he has just seen, but it could be because of the clothes he just saw by accident. This is all it takes to remind him of Listina, and then Ikeda's intrusive thoughts take over him again. On that note, he heads over to the shady place to do more shady things with his new favorite mom. He misses Listina a lot, but our hero needs to focus because he has potions to make today as well. He still does not know how he was able to make Potion B last night, but there has to be some kind of explanation for it. And for now, it all points to his multiple sessions with the curvy babe. He needs to find some clues if he is to finish the product, but he decides to visit the shady place first, and it does not look like it's for research purposes. Listina is extremely happy to see Ikeda because he has come to meet her again so soon. As expected, the both of them engage, and even Listina is shocked by how extreme our heroes go. After their intense session, Listina asks if Ikeda has more work to do, and that's when he realizes that he has to make more potions today. Our hero says goodbye to Listina and laments the fact that he has let his intrusive thoughts win once again. He has to make more potions as soon as possible, but it is starting to get darker and darker with each passing moment. Ikeda has also worked up an appetite after his session with Listina, so he goes have lunch in another world. He enjoys his meal to the fullest, and then he rushes back home to make more potions. To his surprise, he notices that he is now able to make Potion A, which is a lot stronger than Potion B. Ikeda still does not know how he was able to do this, and starts to think of possibilities other than Listina. None of that matters to him anymore because the important thing is that he can make both Potion B as well as Potion A. Since he has been able to make it once, he will be able to do so over and over again like a piece of cake. Now that he has his bases covered, Ikeda needs to do what Hawkeye had asked him to do, which was to make an enhancement potion. He succeeds in doing this, and the next day, Hawkeye is stunned by the quality on display. He lauds our hero and says that he knows how to make some seriously good potions. Ikeda is just glad that he has a happy customer, and he gets paid for it handsomely. It's a good day for him, because apart from whatever he sold to Hawkeye, Ikeda ends up selling out yet again. Nowadays, he has become so popular that his potions sell out within the middle of the morning itself. It's a big deal that celebrities are also buying his potions, and Ikeda is very grateful for it. With sales going so well, our hero will get more time to make more potions, and he can also sneak in another shady session with Listina. The most important thing for a fellow adventurer is to do some research, so a person in a knight's armor explores Ikeda's store, since it's the one that Hawkeye and his friends usually visit. Our hero also notices the knight standing there without saying anything, and he starts to assess what he sees, but then he notices something that stands out. It appears as if she is a woman. Normally, a person would ask the knight some questions, but Ikeda is a different breed of simp as he finds himself at the shady place once again, and he is greeted by the reception man with a bright smile on his face. He knows Ikeda by name now, and he also knows his usual demand. It turns out that Ikeda is now booking Listina for 6 hours rather than 2, which means that he has turned into the ultimate simp. As he enters the room, Listina gleefully hugs him, as if her new husband has come back home. These gestures start to make our hero feel some kind of way towards the curvy babe, and he does not want to let her go. Now, it's time to go to their bed, and Isekai'd can only think about how cute and pretty Listina looks when she smiles at him. This time, Isekai'd wants to start off slow, so he asks Listina for a kiss, and this kicks off yet another shady session within the same day. After a fiery session, Listina says that she had no idea lips could be locked this way. She is really glad to have met our hero, and then she suggests trying something new with him. So there's no way Isekai'd is going to say no to that. The sensations are way too good for our hero to resist, and he compliments Listina on how the curvy babe also thinks about how Isekai'd is a sweet and gentle man. Isekai'd says sorry for spraying too much water, but Listina says that she actually enjoyed it as it tasted like nectar to her. Such talk will make any man of culture lose his mind, and that's exactly what happens to our hero as well. Animal and decides to give her a nice session. She tells him not to push himself, but he is as eager as he acts that simply cannot even be illustrated. Listina is extremely tired from her session, and Isekai'd realizes that he has exhausted her a bit too much, so he offers her the recovery potion. She recognizes it as she has gotten used to the energy boost, and even Isekai'd confirms that it is a potion he makes for his store. Listina is as good as new after drinking the potion, and she asks Isekai'd how such a thing is possible even after doing time. Our hero reveals that it's thanks to Listina that his sales are going higher and higher, and he feels even better having told her about it. Such things motivate Isekai'd a lot, and Listina starts to blush over what she hears. It's time to go home and get ready for work. But before he leaves, Listina wishes him all the best as if she is his wife. She also says that he can come and visit her if he feels tired because she will be there for him. The only thing on her mind is treating Isekai'd well and making him feel better, which makes our hero blush. Listina asks Isekai'd to come and visit her as many times as he wants if he wishes to get spoiled, and it makes his whole face go red. The curvy babe finds this amusing, so she lets out a slight giggle and asks if he would be up for such a thing. Isekai'd comments that a formerly married woman's nature is very comforting, and due to this, he is inclined to say that he will surely be back for more. The next day, Isekai'd is set to sell out his potions once again, and due to Listina's motivation, he had gotten fired up and made a whole bunch of potions in the night. The customers come rushing towards him as expected, and our hero has no complaints about that at all. It does not take long for him to sell out this time as well, and it includes a whole bunch of potions B and A. The only thing left for him now is to take some pre-orders, and then he wonders if the girl in the knight armor will show up again today. The moment he says this, she actually does appear, and this time, she has taken her helmet off. The girl has a stern look on her face as she mentions how Hawkeye keeps talking about Isekai'd's store. She asks for some potions, but Isekai'd tells her that he's sold out for the day. The night girl finds this amazing since it's not even noontime right now, so she decides to make an appointment for tomorrow. This is good news for Isekai'd, so he makes the appointment instantly. The next day, he thinks about how he had doubted whether the night girl was an actual girl, but now he has the confirmation he needs. She eventually shows up and says sorry for keeping him waiting, but Isekai'd does not have an issue with that. The night girl's name is revealed to be Rilia, and after some small talk, our hero declares her to be cute as well. Rilia's order turns out to be a big one, as she needs 20 potions of recovery, detoxification, and enhancement. Isekai'd hands them over to her, and she decides to have a taste instantly, much to his surprise. Rilia starts drinking the potion, but she does it in such a way that Isekai'd's intrusive thoughts kick in instantly. He tries his best to control himself, And then Ril thanks him for the great quality. Not only do the potions work fast, they also taste amazing. So Rilia is grateful to have gotten such a great deal from Ikeda. He is just happy that another pretty girl is in his favor. But then Rilia says that she will drop by later if he will allow her. He clearly has no issues with this. And then we learn that Rilia isn't a rank adventurer. Even the girls admire her beauty. And our hero seems to have known about this since he spoke to other people about it. As expected, the men mainly spoke about it. But even Ikeda would not mind that as Rilia is really famous. He does not know how a rank adventurers engage in shady acts, but he would definitely like to see how Rilia's face changes when her. Of course, Ikeda has Listina, so he decides to stop thinking about Rilia, and then he heads off to the shady place for another lengthy session. However, he is shattered to learn that Listina has taken some time off from work. He asks the reception man if it's something serious, but he says that it's just a light fever, which is why Listina wanted to get some rest. That might be a bit reassuring for Ikeda, but his mind was already set on doing. And now his dream has been broken. The reception man tells Ikeda that since Listina is on a break, he would like to offer another girl to him today. He pulls out a whole catalog of girls, and he insists on enjoying them as they have similar features to Listina. Ikeda does not know what to do here, but the reception man insists on taking a new girl because he would like to show his gratitude to our hero. After all, he has given the business a lot of money ever since he first came here, literally and biologically. Ikeda is not too sure of the women being shown to him, but then he sets his eyes on a certain babe named Mile Kania, whom we had seen right at the start in Ikeda's heavenly future. The reception man proceeds to show off Kania and her assets to Ikeda because he knows exactly what our hero likes. After he completes his sales pitch, the reception man says that Kania is available at this moment, so Ikeda should definitely try her out. Our hero figures he might as well go ahead with her. So he books a session for 2 hours, and the reception man gets her ready as soon as possible. Later, as Ikeda waits in the bedroom, he is greeted by Kania, who thanks him for choosing her today. She is quite cute and curvy as well, which means that Ikeda will not miss Listina that much today. After running a quick scan, Ikeda can see that Kania has big eyes and a weepy face. She also has a slightly thicker lip when compared to Listina, and her blonde hair really complements her blue eyes. The main thing though is her body, and it's exactly how Ikeda likes it. He figures he is going to be just fine with the new girl, and she decides to help him get more comfortable. She proceeds to take a look, and just like Listina, Kania is also amazed to see the size of his trunk. Of course, this is due to Ikeda's skill, but Kania has never seen anything like this her entire life. As part of her training, she decides to prepare herself the same way Listina does with the potion. But Ikeda is not into any mechanical routine, so he tells Kania that he wants to unleash his inner animal the right way. There's no chance for her to say no to, so she goes ahead with Ikeda's desires. What follows is yet another for our hero, but this time with a different girl. As a matter of fact, this is the first time released water, so she is amazed that she can experience such things. Of course, Ikeda is glad to be the first to have given her such a sensation, and things have turned out well for the both of them. The thing now is that Kania is addicted to our hero, so she wants him to pick her the next time he comes over, and he says yes at first, but later on he wonders what to do. Ikeda may have told Kania that he will choose her the next time he comes over, but he also has Listina. Our hero tries to compare both the curvy babes, and while he does admit that Listina is the best for him because of how much effort she put in, Ikeda eventually admits that both of them are amazing. He does not want to let go of either girl, so he wonders if he can make it work with the both of them. The next day, it's time to sell some potions again, so Ikeda prepares his stock with his storage skill. Once he is done with the storing, he sets out of his inn and greets the inn owner on his way out. Ikeda is sure he can make his way around this new world, and he thanks the goddess for blessing him with such useful skills. Now, since he is selling so many items, it is but obvious that he will end up having tons of customers as well. Due to this, Ikeda may start facing issues by getting cramped for room, so he needs to figure the right way to expand his business. He realizes that he can't stay at the same place for a long time, so he should rent a bigger place for himself. As he wonders what to do about his business, the flat cafe girl comes to serve him a yummy meal, and he instantly forgets everything else. Ikeda orders for some rice to go with his meat, and he comments on how he absolutely loves monster meat in this world. It is really tasty and spicy, especially if he has it with a particular hot sauce. The meat and gravy are amazing enough as it is, and the cups of rice are the best way to top it all off. As Ikeda eats his food, he overhears someone else talking about his own shady conquests. Since it has to do with cute and curvy girls, Ikeda wants to listen in on this, so he pays close attention. The man in question talks about how he finally got to do shady things with a beast girl, but when someone asks him how it felt, he says that it was not too good at all. Not only did he hate the smell, he also had an issue with the weird noises this beast girl was making because it sounded more like a roar. The man states that he did not care how good the beast girl may have looked, which was why he told her to stop in the middle of. Then, he resumes talking about his adventure in the dungeon, and Ikeda laments how such things can even happen in this world. Now, the flat girl comes to ask our hero if he would like anything else, and he asks her if she knows anything about the land of beast people. She reveals that the name of this country is Yongle, and it is 2 weeks away from this place by carriage. That is not exactly a short duration, so it demotivates Ikeda. But then the cafe girl says that it will be a lot quicker if he uses a dragon. Ikeda is surprised to see that you can rent out a dragon to take you to another place. But such rides do not come cheaply. As our hero steps out to walk on the road, he contemplates the carriage ride, but also says that 2 weeks is a very long time. However, he would still like to go to Yongle someday, and also check out other countries as well. After all, there will mostly be cute and curvy girls over there as well, and he only wants to have fun with all of them. Ikeda remembers the curvy guild girl with the. Now that he's done with work and had his dinner, Ikeda goes to the shady place once again and books a session with Kania. After a water release session, our hero thanks Kania for being the sweetest thing he has seen today. On the contrary, she thanks him as well for showing her a whole new world of pleasure. This is also because our hero is the only person who compliments her body, and then the two of them engage in many more shady. Ikeda promises to come back to Kania soon, and then he bids her farewell. He has not even prepared a single potion yet, so he needs to take the rest of the day off. But he also has to figure something about his house if he is to make moves in his work life. Now, he heads over to a realtor named Calver Real Estate, and he is greeted by a cute and curvy girl yet again. She asks what Ikeda is here for, and he says that he is looking for a house. The curvy babe wants more clarity on what our hero wants, so he explains that he would like a nice space where he can live, while also operating a store from the same place. He would like this house to be close to his usual spot and also at a reasonable price. So the girl starts her search. She provides him with an option, which is a 2-story building with the first floor being a nice space for a store. Ikeda likes the professional nature of the houses, but he notices that the rental rates are very different. It turns out that one of them is on the main street, while the other one is off it, which explains the price difference. The rental rates are either 1 large gold coin or 4 large gold coins, which translate to 10,000 and 40,000 yen. Of course, Ikeda is not going to spend his cash blindly, which is why he asks the realtor girl to show him the places. She has no issue with that at all and offers to take Ikeda on a house tour right now. Our hero is then taken to his prospective home and gets a proper tour of the place, along with a look and feel of the furniture. After a lot of thinking and consideration, Ikeda decides to go for the cheapest option. He knows this is not the best way to go about his business, but he has to look at his own budgets as well. After all, the realtor girl must be having a lot of clients, so his purchase won't make a big deal to her. After signing all the paperwork, our hero finally has a house all to himself. We can see that it's a pretty simple house that has only one bedroom, but it's good enough for Ikeda to do his business while also living in the same space. Now that he has shifted to his home, he unleashes all the furniture he had kept in his storage unit. There's a lot of furniture, and Ikeda realizes that he actually bought a lot of it before because he could store it all easily with his storage skill. However, now he will have to move all of it around, and it will be quite the task. He knows he has a huge workout on his hands, so he begins moving all the furniture around after drinking some potions. Ikeda makes sure to use potions for arm strength and stamina, after which he undertakes an arduous task. After a lot of effort and hard work, the house is finally set and Ikeda has managed to sort out his living situation. The inn owner congratulates our hero for finally owning his own store, and even he thanks her for all the support she has given him during his years in this world. Another thing that the inn owner points out is that Ikeda is looking rather big today, and it's all because of the potions he had taken. Our hero is massive and as big as a monster, so he feels a bit embarrassed by it. All this work and effort has made him tired, so he decides to release his tension by visiting the shady place. The reception man sees him and is surprised by our hero's muscular frame, but is still able to recognize Ikeda, probably due to the shady look on his face. Ikeda asks if Kaniya is available, to which the reception man says yes, but he also mentions that Lestina is back, so he asks our hero what he would like to do. This has presented him with a tricky situation, and he shrinks back to his original form due to his conflict. The reception man comments that our hero is troubled right now, as can be seen in the way he panics over his choice. Ikeda does not know whether he should go for Lestina or Kaniya, and the sheer thought of it all seems to be bothering him a lot. That's when the reception man decides to offer some support by stating he can actually go for both girls at the same time. This is a jackpot for Ikeda, so he instantly says yes to the offer, and he is reunited with Lestina and Kaniya. As expected, an extremely session follows. After a heavenly time together, Ikeda starts thinking about what to do about his store, but the girls notice that he is tired and has something on his mind already. He tells them that he is just thinking about some new things regarding his store, but this is news to the girls as they did not know he was expanding. The girls suggest hiring an employee as it might be too much work for him to handle alone, but our hero confesses that finding a good candidate will be really difficult. Now, Kaniya suggests hiring her to help with the store, and even though she is a bit nervous about it, this does not seem to be an issue for Ikeda. He wants to hear more about this suggestion, and then he listens to what the girls have to say. As Ikeda walks his way back home, he thinks back to the proposal the girls gave him. He can take both Lestina and Kaniya for just 2 gold coins, which is extremely cheap. On top of that, which is always a boon for him. Later, Ikeda goes to the guild girl Sheska and gets the sales permit for his house sorted out. He thanks her for everything, and even she congratulates him for opening his own store. With everything set in place and the costing figured out, Ikeda is confident that he can make things work. After all, if he can have both Kaniya and Lestina by his side, then he will have a lesser workload to deal with. In addition, he can do both the slave girls for as many times as he wishes, so it's a winning situation for him either way. With everything else out of the way, our hero decides to ask Sheska one more question, but it has nothing to do with the store. He wants to know more about the land of beast men, and the guild girl immediately identifies it as Yamal. Ikeda asks her if there are other countries like Yamal, so she asks him to give her a moment. The guild girl provides our hero with a world map. and we can see other countries which are known for all kinds of industries. Our hero learns that the country of Yonel is filled with all kinds of beast folk, and because of its closeness to the dungeon, there are a lot of adventurers coming from here as well. The other country of Risen is the hometown of elves and dwarves, which means that the production of powerful weapons and magical tools is booming over there. Now, the country of Pyrokania is known as the land of the demons, but this place has been sealed off since the wars of the past, so there is not a lot of information about it. Astoria is more of a newer town, and the wine over there is supposed to be amazing. Ikeda's own country of Bikinia has a textile industry, and the marine industry also does well since it is so close to the sea. After hearing all of this information, our hero's dreams grow bigger, and he wishes to become a huge name in this world. He decides that he will work very hard and will make a ton of money in order to make this dream a reality, and then he leaves the guild. Sheska wishes him all the best, but the only thing on Ikeda's mind right now is to buy both Kania and Lestina as his slave girls and travel the world with them. Before he forgets, he asks Sheska how much it costs to ride a dragon, and she reveals that it's 10 gold coins, which is a ridiculous amount of money. Now, we move to the next day where Ikeda is making even more money from his potions. He takes his jackpot cash and thanks none other than Hawkeye, who has made it back from the dungeon. The adventurer tells our hero that it would normally have taken him a month to get back, but due to the super potions, he only needed a week. Ikeda takes this chance to tell Hawkeye that he has opened a new store, so he says that he will start visiting it from now on. Since he has made his last sale today, Ikeda decides it's time to say goodbye to his temporary store. He is going to miss it for sure, and he remembers how he had first come to this world through the goddess. He would have never imagined that he would make this much money from selling potions, but things have been good for him. He has saved up so much money that he can last his entire lifetime along with Kania and Lestina with this much. Now, it's time to claim his slave girls, so he goes to get them from the shady place. They have been waiting for him, and Ikeda makes the payment to the reception man, who was actually the manager this whole time. He becomes very emotional because he has known both Kania and Lestina for a long time. It's almost as if a father is giving away his daughters to another man for marriage, but at a cost. Either way, the manager and the slave girls hug each other one last time before bidding farewell for good. Even Ikeda is tearing up after seeing this, and then he takes off with his slave girls. The manager reminds him to keep visiting, even if the girls are not here anymore, and he promises to do so. Lestina and Kania can't believe that Ikeda decided to take the both of them in, but he says that he wanted to all the time, so it was a wise decision to make a final payment. With that, the slave girls promise to play as much as they can, and they will not do anything less than their best. This truly is a dream come true for our hero, but will he add even more women to his slave harem? Also, will the dormant demons from Pyrokania come back to life?
Now that our hero has slave girls at his beck and call, he rejoices over the fact that he can engage whenever he wants. The first thing on the agenda is to go shopping, and the girls don't seem to have a problem with it. Isekai'd then takes Lestina and Konia to a clothes shop, and the girls dress into outfits that would awaken any man's intrusive thoughts. They ask for his permission to wear these clothes, but only a fool would say no to such spicy outfits. Isekai'd can't believe that he is now going to spend the rest of his life with these two babes, and then he tells them to pack the clothes they've chosen. However, Lestina and Konia both want to check out some more outfits, and there's no way their master is going to deny his slave girls. Now that all the shopping is done, our hero takes his girls back home and then he gets into bed. It doesn't take long for both Lestina and Konia to show up in their new outfits, and this awakens the inner beast within Isekai'd. He takes this chance to pounce on his slave girls, and he doesn't hold back one bit. The feeling is mutual as Lestina and Konia both tell him that they want him to make them feel pretty again. It does not take a lot of guessing for anyone to realize that the acts that happened after this were indeed too shady. Now, we move to the next day where we see both Lestina and Konya helping out their master with the potion store. They make use of their new outfits and follow all of Isekai'd's orders, whether it's about refilling potions or clearing shelves. The crowd goes crazy thanks to these new babes at the store, and they continue to buy potions without any hesitation. Isekai'd does not have a problem with this because it only means that he's going to make a lot of money. After all the purchases of the day, both Lestina and Konya drop to the floor because they too are overwhelmed by the massive demand they saw today. They look at their master and comment on how successful he is. However, he tells them it's no big deal and then gets them up on their feet. The triple couple takes a break by having a quick refresher, and then they breathe a sigh of relief. Lestina and Konya can't believe how amazing our hero's potions are. And on top of that, Isekai'd is able to create them quite easily as well. Their master decides to show off by instantly making yet another potion in front of them, and the slave girls applaud him for his skills. They wonder if this is how you make a potion, but Isekai'd tells them that there are different methods depending on the person. This actually makes him realize that he has a pretty cool trick up his sleeve. However, he has to make sure that it does not get found out by any bad guys. Now, the slave girls ask their master if he can really make any kind of potion, and this leads him to say he believes so. The girls are glad to hear this, and then they ask him to make a potion for them as well. Isekai'd wants to know what kind of potion they want, and learns that the slave girls want a potion which will make them slimmer. By slimmer, it can be assumed that they want their soft, but this would be a nightmare come true for Isekai'd. He immediately says no, but this confuses the girls as the common fantasy is to have slender girls in this world. Lestina and Konya are a bit disappointed, but Isekai'd tells them that this is for their own good. He then states that he finds his slave girls attractive just the way they are. He does not want them to change and encourages them to embrace their bodies. His words are so intense that the hearts of these girls melt instantly. The both of them hug him tightly and say how much they love him. But of course, our hero did not give this speech for the sake of body positivity. The fact of the matter is that he likes thick girls and he cannot lie. Even other brothers can't deny it, and when he sinks into the soft Lestina and Konya, the smile on his face says it all. His heavenly experience goes up a notch now, as both girls say that since he loves their bodies so much, they will serve him now. Once again, it can be safely assumed that a whole series of lewd acts this scene. Life goes on like this for a while, as Isekai'd continues to make a lot of money while his slave girls help him with the store as well as the house. Isekai'd can't stop smiling as he has finally reached the pinnacle of his life. Thanks to both the girls, he can now focus on increasing his potion production and sales without having to worry about expenses and maintenance. Now, Konya serves him some tea and Isekai'd says that he wishes he could live like this forever. Having said that, there is one thing he wishes to do, and he asks Konya if she can run the store in his absence. She says yes immediately, but also asks if he is planning to go somewhere else. Isekai'd says yes and admits that he has recently been thinking about a country known as the Land of the Beasts. It's the same place he had heard of before, and now that he has the money, he wants to explore the area. The slave girls agree to take care of things while he's gone, and then our hero embarks on a dragon flight. He takes a look outside the window and comments on how Virginia is already so close in just a little time. The dragon pilot asks Isekai'd how he's liking the flight, and he only has good things to say. After all, this dragon flight will be completed in only 3 hours, whereas a horse carriage will take at least 2 weeks. Isekai'd says that he doesn't mind a horse, but dragons are the best and he has always wanted to ride a dragon. This is understandable as his own. Our hero continues to praise the view and the dragon, so the pilot thanks him for his kind words. It doesn't take long to reach the land of the beasts, and it clearly lives up to its name, as can be seen by all the beast people living here. The name of this place is Yengal, and Isekai'd can't get over all the people he's seeing in front of him right now. He's getting excited simply by virtue of being here, but now that he's arrived, he will need to get his hands on a map. He asks a beast girl for help, so she redirects him to the right place, which is a cat building. We see a cat man welcoming Isekai'd to Yengal and tells him that he will need to get through some entry procedures before moving forward. Once he gets done with that, our hero is given a map and then he sets out on his journey. After a bit of looking around, it becomes evident that soft pillows are not popular in this country as well. In a way, it's good because Isekai'd will not have any competition for the girls he likes. As expected, Isekai'd lets his intrusive thoughts take over, and he heads towards a shady house. Now, he meets a beast man who welcomes him into his establishment, but he looks just like the owner of the previous shady house, so our hero is taken aback. Anyway, the beast man offers a list of girls that the shady house currently has, and then he asks Isekai'd to take his pick. Our hero is spoilt for choice once again, and now he also has to choose between cute girls who have bunny ears, dog ears, and cat ears as well. Soon enough, he comes across a cat girl named Isekai'd, and her curvy body catches his eye immediately. The beast man confirms that Isekai'd wants Isekai'd, and then he gets her ready for him right away. Our hero wants to know how much time he can have with the cat girl, and he is shocked to learn that he can do it with her all the way till the morning. This is not too different from how it was with Lestina and Konya, probably because of the amount of money he has offered. Now, Isekai'd is alone in the room with Isekai'd, who acts formal with him at first. The cat girl is a bit nervous as she asks Isekai'd to allow her to treat him well, but he does not care about that much. What he does pay attention to is her pretty face, red hair, and tall body. He wants Isekai'd to feel at ease with him, so he points out that she might have a problem with formal speech. Isekai'd agrees to it, although she does look a bit worried. Isekai'd then tells her that she can proceed with her normal tone if that makes her feel better. This surprises Isekai'd at first, but she is relieved to hear it and thanks Isekai'd for allowing her to be casual. She is not at all good with a formal tone, but this makes Isekai'd happy because he likes the way she sounds right now. The truth is that our hero enjoys women a lot more when they behave like themselves. Now that the introductions are done with, Isekai'd wonders what a human is doing in a place like this, that too inside the land of the beasts. She asks him if he wants to test her courage, or if he is just a boy who likes to act thoughts. Isekai'd says that he doesn't just like to act on his he loves to do it. Isekai'd laughs at this and says that she loves to do such things as well. This eases the pressure on Isekai'd, and then Isekai'd is not one to be dominated so easily, so he turns the tables on Isekai'd and flips. He proceeds to let his lips do some work on the cat girl, but it surprises her a lot. She asks what just happened, so Isekai'd assumes that beast people don't do these kinds of things. It only motivates him to play around some more, some heaven on earth times as she wants, and it doesn't take long for him to finish her off easily the first time. Next up is the main course, so Isekai'd brings. Isekai'd can't believe what she's seeing because the thing she's ever come across. She is a bit scared to let such a but Isekai'd tells her it's fine as girls like Lestina and Konya have already become used to it. Isekai'd them comments that he has all the skills needed to make Iri feel amazing, and he's glad to see how she's turned from a bossy babe into an innocent maiden. What follows is a night full of first-time experiences. With the way things are going, Isekai'd might just end up bringing Iri back home with him. Will his slave girls accept a new member of their master's harem? And what else is our hero going to do during his time in this new country? Like, share, and subscribe if you like the story and want me to continue. If this video gets an